somehow predictable piece of music that has arc, program, drama, and still letting everybody improvise. So it gains its form through structure and through contrast. So here's the way this is going to work. There are 5 stations. We're going to check our personnel in a minute. We're going to have at least one person at each station. Some stations will have 2 people. I think the first time that we run it, we're going to run it on a minute clock, just for the sake of order. I ran one yesterday on time, and some of the sections felt too long. But essentially, here's the way this is going to work. You're going to be at a station, and you're going to have a set of instructions. Okay, so let me back up for a minute. One great way to talk about music where you don't have to know, you need to know absolutely nothing about music, is just divided into 3 basic categories. Is it loud or soft? Is it high or low? Is it fast or slow? You can pretty much describe anything. Think of the theme from Jaws. Think of, Flight of the Bumblebee and how you might describe it in those basic terms. So by reducing your directions to some of those terms, we pretty much can map out what you're going to do. So here's the way it's going to work. There's a set of distinctions for some of the stations that are identical. So who's ever on station 1, when you open up and play for the first minute, you're going to do 2 things. You're going to play loud and intermittent. Then in your next section, let's say it's a minute later, you're going to play regular and soft. Regular and soft. Then you might get silent. So that's how it's going to work. Whoever takes that will have these instructions.
And by regular refers to the speed, or to the, what does regular mean in that context?
Well, it's tough to get too specific because it's not the same for each instrument.
Okay.
But I think it does refer to speed. So in other words, over here, regularity could be however you feel, whether it's a pulse, whether it's, I think
Right.
regular speed.
Okay.
Yes.
So regular as a, okay.
Okay.
Yes.
It's a tempo thing. It's
So,
not-
as opposed to intermittent.
Okay, yeah.
So, okay, so let me continue for a second.
Yeah.
So this is going to happen, essentially that set of instructions is going to happen for these 3 stations. But it staggers. When this station is on step 1 of intermittent and loud, this station is silent. Then this station will become intermittent and loud as that one goes soft. So they kind of dovetail around. Okay?
Okay.
Easy. But these 2 stations are a bit different. And so these 2 stations have 2 different sets of, they have a different set of oppositions. They are call and response, drone. So they're going to speak with each other. So in other words, there are going to be 2 players here, one on the intona, and they're going to call and response. However you 3 want to do that is none of my business. I don't, if you want to do these 2, then the third, if you'd like to put that in between each one, that's for you guys to work out. But I do want to say something about the call and response. There should be a true, measured and patient call and response. So you're not stepping all over each other, making a bunch of just mayhem. You actually listen to what this sounds like, and you let it sound like it's going to sound. And when the call is over, then the response. So it's about listening, I think, for everybody's. But it's more of an issue here than it is on the intona, of course. So you guys are going to have 2 modes. Who's ever on this, you're going to have call and response, and then you're going to have drone. So you will either be calling and responding to each other, or you'll be droning. Whatever drone means on that instrument, that's your business. Then finally, the finale, the last movement, the 8th movement, everybody migrates here, and they play 1 bell with their fingertips. So all this mayhem then